Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to FDG Stages. This is your Igorot guy, Freddy. And this is Adivay with FDG. We're coming back from the last year's Adivay with FDG online, but now it's in front of you. We are live, and thank you so much for coming and watching and listening. And I hope that you will stay with us until the end of this live because we have a very special guest today. Kailangan magsaoti English just because this man is an alien, is from another planet. I'm sorry, is from the US of A. And I just want to, join me to welcome Mr. Ace.
Howdy, everybody. It is a pleasure to be here once again. Back home in the Cordilleras. Wouldn't want to be anyplace else. So.
Man, that's so good to hear.
Yeah.
And the accent, it's like what we were watching when we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cowboy movies.
Little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll. All
Mix.
of the above.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of Alien coming down.
We call that mix.
Ah, exactly.
All right, so should I call you Cordillera Journey with Ace?
No, just
No.
call me Ace.
Just Ace.
Exactly. But that's my, for anybody that wants to follow my terrible vlogging efforts, well, it'd be Cordillera Journey with Ace because, if I was a professional vlogger, I'd have been fired by now.
Mhm.
But, hey, it's the internet, so I'll post as much as I can when I can, and we'll go from there. But I love being here. It's all good.
That's so nice to hear. All right, so I'm sure that many people or some people here around Latinidad or Baguio have seen you already. But yeah, let's get back to day one
Sure.
as to I'm gonna ask you why and how did you end up in the land of the Igorots, which is Cordillera, that you
Yep.
have also adapted as your name on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. So, kind of a long story, but I'll try to make it short here. So it's one to where YouTube is the hub. It's where it all came together. So I live in the United States, of course, up in the Rocky Mountains. So I'm actually a Highlander, just not from the Cordilleras of the Philippines, but from the Cordilleras of North America. And so with me, I'm a guy that loves learning, and YouTube is the best place to learn how to do pretty much anything from fixing cars to replumbing a house, doing drywall, anything like that. So one of the days I was looking videos up, probably for doing renovations on a house I was working on, and all of a sudden it in the recommended videos below it popped up a thing and showed one of your videos. And I hadn't looked up Philippines before. And it was one to where it's like, okay, well, you had an interesting title, but good thumbnail as well. And hey, I love learning about cultures and things like that. But it's one to where, Japan, I know a little bit about because of World War II, that kind of stuff. But it intrigued me because I think it could have been the first one that popped up was one of yours. Talked about country music, possibly, but I mean, I've watched a lot of your videos, so it's not the easiest to say, oh yeah, this was the very first one.
Mhm.
But popped up, I watched the one, watched another, and pretty much from that point forward, it was just binge watching your videos to learn more. Reason being is because your videos had a lot of education when it came to the Cordilleras. There's a lot of videos online about the Philippines. There's not really a lot of videos online about the Cordilleras. They're in English. And you had kind of a mix and match. Some of them you had subtitled, some of them you had full English, some of them, but it made it to where I could learn more about the Cordilleras. And because of what you showed, it made me want to come here. And I'm like, if it's anything, like if it's like 50% of what you were saying and what you were showing, then I'll really enjoy the place. And so sent you a comment. I'm like, hey, so I'm going to be coming this time. So, we'll see you then. And I think that we had talked later and you're like, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, American's going to fly right across the world because of one of my videos. Sounds good. We'll see you next to never. That'll be great.
Yeah, the first time that I saw your comment was like, oh, all right, okay, all right.
Next.
Really?
Yeah.
Someone from which part actually?
So it's Idaho.
Idaho.
It's funny because sometimes I talk too fast. So some people will say, we'll put down Ohio. I'm not anywhere near Ohio.
Oh.
Ohio is very far away from me. I am in Idaho, the land of potatoes. Period.
Idaho.
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 Idaho. So, so I'm from there, and that is in the west. So, western, and right there in the Rocky Mountains, pretty close to Yellowstone National Park, which is huge. I think the biggest park in the United States. I think so. It's in I think 3 or 4 different states. It's so big. So, but yeah. So that's how I came to be here, and then I showed up, and it was ridiculously better than even your videos showed, which was not what I was expecting in the best way possible. So.
Whoa. Wow. Yeah, I couldn't believe when I think you followed up or messaged me actually on my page that you're coming.
I think it went into spam.
Yeah.
So,
but I saw it.
Yeah.
And then I remembered a comment before on my YouTube video. And so I saw the name, it was the same, Ace, popped up, and then, all right, so maybe this guy is actually coming.
Yeah.
And yeah, you actually came.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we had that awkward moment. I show up in the cafe and you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Actually, my staff came to me and,
Yeah.
hey, there's a cowboy
Yeah.
in the cafe. It's like, really? So I immediately knew that it was you, the one that commented. And so, yeah, I went out and saw Garth Brooks.
Yeah. You're just like, oh, Garth Brooks is here.
Yeah, I'll tell you, every single Igorot walking on the street, when they see you, they'll be amazed because, country music, and we especially our generation, we grew up through seeing American cowboy and country music singers.
Yeah.
That feature, and it's just amazing. And I just want to know if Idaho has cowboy in there, like the real cowboys or whatsoever, country music state or.
Yeah, I'd say it's more of a country music state than most. I mean, people say Texas is, but the reality is the majority of the population in Texas is in the big city, and there's not a chance they're listening to country music. So, just because it's in Texas, that doesn't mean much. Whereas states like Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, and Montana in particular, those 4, those are definitely going to be more country focused because of a combination of farming and cattle ranching as well. So you've got, the 2 of those. So Carabao here, but we've got all, cattle, because there's a lot of land that you can't farm. It's too rocky, it's too, too junky, but cattle can roam on it. And so that's where you have the cowboys, and in both states, Utah, Idaho, it's still there. And of course, Texas has, they have tons and tons and tons, but the reason that there's more cowboys there is because there's a lot of land that just can't be used for anything else too.
Mm-hmm.
So the United States is big, but not all of it's good for much. So.
All right. Wow. And did you grow up in a, cowboy style way, or the country side? Are you a country boy that we call here, as we call ourselves?
Yeah, I was gonna say, people call me a cowboy here, but in reality, I'm a country boy because I don't own cows, I don't drive cows. So by definition, if the actual cowboys from America, they'd be like, that ain't no cowboy. I don't know, ain't no cowboy. I'd be like, yeah, but I'm a country boy. So I grew up in between the countryside and a small town, at least at the time. And then my dad, he was always, always country, sang country music, Johnny Cash and all that in the bars and stuff like that. Mostly before I was growing up. Yeah, it was one to wear. He wore the cowboy hats, cowboy boots, and I'm a little bit more of a working country boy because my boots aren't pointed. I wear square toe, protected toe, because the last thing that I want to do is drop a cinder block on my foot while I'm renovating something and end up with a lip. So.
Right, there's a lesson for today, Kakailians. There's a country boy and there's a cowboy. Yeah. So there's a distinction. We can use it, right?
Exactly. And all farmers are going to be country boys.
Yeah.
Unless they raise carabao. I mean, they're but I don't mind. I don't correct people because it doesn't matter. It's really the same. Here. There isn't people fighting. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's that definition's wrong or anything. So, no. Keep call me whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. It's all true.
All right. Anyway, when you watch my videos, what did you like the best that made you drive to think of flying from the other side of the world to here?
The tradition. The tradition. So when I was growing up, me and my mom would go to what they call in America powwows, and they were put on by the Native Americans, and they were essentially Adivay, but instead of being for Igorots, they were for the Native Americans or the First Nations, is what they're called in the United States. And so I had a lot of friends, growing up, that when we went to these, celebrations, we'd go listen to the music, they would dance, they would have the traditional dress, and it definitely drew me into how I felt when I was at those powwows, because in reality, those in America started to die off. They haven't completely went away, but they've died off quite a bit, and the feeling just isn't the same. In your videos, even though the videos were new when you were putting them out, the feeling I got was just like when I was a kid going to those powwows. The other part of it was watching videos about, you had some different videos about, different farmlands, like where you grew up, different country music, why it's connected, how it's connected. Because in reality, country music is the foundation of the country boy. It's the anthem. It talks about God, life, love, death. Losing love, gaining it, and just working hard. And that's it all connects. And so the connection there was going back to a time in America when I was growing up or before, to where there was more community. More connected, neighbors taking care of neighbors. I'd seen different benefit things that you had done as far as taking care of people in the community, or events that were happening, or just history in general. And you guys have been, the people have been through a lot over the last 300 years. America has too, but I think the difference is that the spirit of the Highlanders in particular is about mutual respect, showing mutual respect to each other, taking care of each other, taking care of the community, and making sure that tradition doesn't die out. And that's something that I have a ton of respect for and a ton of love for it. And the further that I get into it, the further that I learn about the different traditions and talk to the different people, the more I fall in love with not just the traditions, but the people, people themselves, because it's just impossible to not. I mean, it's if someone comes here and they have an open heart and they have an open mind, to where they're going to ask questions, and they're not going to go to the tourist places, but actually talk to the real people, and they show respect, and boy, I think there would be a life-changing moment for them. And I think, and to be honest, I'm saying the same thing even for the tourists coming up from the lowlands, because it's amazing, how much everybody can learn from each other. I know that I'm learning from you guys every single day on how to be better in so many ways. So,
wow. Nice. I mean, you're learning, and then we're also
Always.
learning from you, and that's amazing. We're gonna hear more about Ace journey when we come back after some few reminders.
Yo, sa mga kaka-aliens, kung kailangan nyo ng tubig na inumin, tubig na panghugas, tubig para sa lahat, andito po tayo ngayon sa Bigaw.
Dati amin kumpleto. Pagtigos, pagpinikpigan, kan. Tuba ito, bebe. May...
Howdy everybody! Daytoy homes plant ket masarakan ijay Dengsi Tawang La Trinidad Benguet asideglang ijay Camp Dangwa igid daytoy ti kalsada. Nuapay nga mairekomendak nga usto daytoy homes plant is because aglaklako da ken agin install da kadagiti PVC panels. And of course nakasingsing put day owners. Nuhan nyo pay lang amo kakapsat dagitoy PVC kadagiti plastic nga mas usar kadagiti properties, especially day makikita tayo nga orange nga hose tadta adan ti PVC panels nga mausar kadagiti balbalay tayo. Suportaan tayo daytoy homes plant dito'y Dengsi Tawang La Trinidad Benguet. Kita-kits kakabsat dito'y homes plant.
Capstone Auto Care Center. Ako offer da iti car wash and auto detailing. Interior and exterior full detailing. Nya pa iti oraym, apan mo pa car wash iti elf mo. Ito'y Capstone Auto Care Center. Eksakto, asidog dito'y Silan. Pili, La Trinidad Benguet, asidog lang ti Sunrise.
Welcome back to Adivay with FDG with Cordillera Journey with Ace. Before we go, resume or talk and ask Ace about his journey, let's give a little shout out to our viewers. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to John Wick Nagbagyo,
All right.
Mustafa Padle. And then there's a question directed towards you
Sure.
from Aloha Haluya. Yes. All right.
Aloha.
Since when you're here in the Philippines, sir?
So last year I spent 2 months here, and then this trip has been 3 months so far, and then I'll be here another month. So it'll be 4 months total this year.
From Mike Wall, Cordillera Journey with Ace. Your English is improving.
Thank you, Mike. I love you, brother. And yes, I'm working on it. Okay, I'm working on it. I'm still learning from you.
My goodness. All right. From Aaron Mark Kalyan. Yeehaw. Howdy, y'all.
Howdy.
Howdy. Mr. Bro. Oh, Berto has a comment.
Oh,
Howdy. How are you, brother Ace?
excellent, excellent. Happy to be here once again.
From a guy with no Facebook name. Ay inumat pay. What's this? Ngayon ka din, inumat. Inumat. Sorry, ang kumaawatan ba? Hindi tayo inumat. All right. Anyway, howdy and shout out to you all. Thank you so much for watching and listening to these two guys talking random things.
Yeah, much appreciated for sure.
Anyway, all right, let's get back to you, Sir Ace. Sorry, we call everyone Sir.
Yeah, I know. It makes me laugh. I don't. It never offends me, but yeah, it's one where it just makes me laugh. Like, all right.
Yeah, I think that's a Filipino culture, Igorot culture on respecting people, but not just, in the U.S. They just call Sir.
No, I can't even do that now. So yeah, it's just it's like hi, and that's pretty much it. So it's nice. Same thing. It's like it's almost like a time machine here.
Yeah,
Going back in time to a time when people respected people, and yeah, calling them sir or ma'am is something that is got no issue with it. It makes me laugh, but I love it because it shows respect to people and especially elders, and that's something that that's important, especially with the younger folks. So it's good, always great to see.
Yeah, I hope it does not change in the future. Yeah, one of the
Agreed.
things. Anyway, so you said you loved and you liked what you watched on my videos, and
Yep.
then eventually you were here.
Yes.
So can you compare what you see on my videos
Mhm.
and what you have experienced for at least your time of stay here?
Sure. So I mean, it's one to where your videos have a lot of history in them, a lot of different things from the past as well as present. As far as what's different, there's I would have to say, so your video talked about country music being popular in the Philippines, or not in the Philippines, well, in the Philippines, but in the really in the Highlands. But it didn't express how incredibly massive the amount of talent that is here is. Because you've in some of your videos you've shown a few people, a few legends, Highlander legends, Inuit legends of country music. But when I got here, even last year, every single bar that you go to has live music, and sometimes it's every single night. And now, I mean, that my reality is well, it's gone from country music's loved up here to well, country music was born in America. The heart of country music now lives here, more than Nashville, more than Texas. Period. End of story. You guys make your own songs from either existing not lyrics, but like bass line playing, and then add your own lyrics to them, update, and then also just singing covers. And the sheer amount of talent, just raw talent here for country music it is insane. For such a small area too, because I mean Nashville's not a small town. So seeing so much here, I mean, you see kids getting out of the jeepney from college carrying guitars. I never saw that in any of my travels ever. Like, you'll see a guitar here and there, but there's guitars everywhere. I go to the market, and I go into random buildings that have dentistry places and stuff like that, and there's a guitar store in there. I go to another mall, there's a guitar store in there. So that, I would say, is the biggest difference. Is you didn't talk about the raw talent. Should have shown some of the videos of some of my brothers and sisters that are in the bands, because but I can't say that it wasn't a nice surprise, because you set one expectation and it got blown out of the water. Because you go to any of these bars and there's just talent every single night and multiple bands, and it's just incredible.
Anyway, I did that on purpose,
Obviously.
not to tell you everything.
Yeah. You gotta save some.
Yeah, gotta save some for Ace.
So, well, you did it, and Mike's one of those one of my brothers that I've made here. It's an amazing thing to be able to hear, to be able to see, and interact with, and just some of the best, not just best talented wise, but best people I've ever met. So,
All right.
it's good stuff.
By far, what can you say about the culture here, including everything about the traditional culture, about values and traditions?
That is one thing that is definitely different than America, even in the old days. I'll be honest with you, because there's no time machine that we can go back to in my lifetime in America to where it equals, and that is honesty and looking after people, not making sure they're not taken advantage of. If there's visitors here, that they're watched after, and I know that I'm watched after, because I've got friends that are like, oh yeah, you went here, here, and here today. How did you know that? Because they're getting text messages or Facebook messages from other friends and stuff like that. Because they're always looking after me, and you guys are always looking after each other. When I came up, people said, oh, you don't have a companion? No companion? And I'm like, no. And I realized really quick that I didn't need a companion. There was no need whatsoever. If I was in the Highlands and I had a question or I got lost or anything like that, ask a Highlander, good to go. I've been invited to so many dinners. I, got lost, and they're, oh, come in for dinner. Go in and eat, and I don't know where I am, out in the middle of the province. But hey, Inuit hospitality. It's like Southern hospitality, but a 10.
Wow.
So, the other part is, I'm not. Always feel safe here. I always, even in the middle of the night, I never worry about. Getting taken advantage of. There's bad people everywhere because that's just the reality in the world.
Yeah.
But here, there's so much more, people taking care of people. I've seen story after story of people leaving. I don't know why they're carrying so much money, but there's 60,000, 80,000, 100,000+ pesos, leave it in a taxi. And they didn't order it through Grab, so there's no connection. They don't. Unless they took a picture of the door, there's a bunch of taxis here. That person would be scot-free. There's no way they'd be able to find that taxi driver, that taxi. But the taxi drivers constantly are turning in. Oh no, this isn't, and that just shows. I'm sorry. There is not a city of this size or bigger in America. Not one in America that taxi drivers would do that. And that is the bottom line, like no exceptions, because it's too easy. They know, well, nobody's going to find it. Nobody's going to be able to connect it. Nobody's that, but it doesn't matter. You guys have a solid foundation of just being good quality people. And I attribute that to keeping the traditions alive, keeping the culture alive, keeping the foundations of what you guys believe in and what's important to you in life. So.
That is just amazing to hear. I just want to give a shout out to our taxi drivers in Baguio and Trinidad. Shout out kanya amin nga taxi drivers.
Absolutely.
Races too.
And jeepneys too.
Jeepneys too.
Yeah, jeepneys too, for sure.
Anyway, we have some new comments to read. Okay. From Jesser Jordan. Brother, how's the coffee, Sir Ace?
Coffees. So it's just not even comparable to anything I've had in America because it's local. You want to talk about fresh, you're not going to get fresher than here. If it's not coming out of a packet, then you've got fresh coffee. If it's brewed, you're golden. And that's everywhere I go. It's really cool. It's like the best of the best of the best of Starbucks, but at a regular place, and that's a great thing to see. So shout out to the farmers that are doing the coffee, because you guys are obviously doing something right. Same with the roasters. Talk about that.
Nice.
Look at that.
Oh yeah,
right there.
actually this is Arabica Robusta coffee from Atok we get brand, of course, under our Bandarong Cafe brand. And so there's another one from Mr. Aaron. Brother, hopefully we can visit your cafe again. Okay. Na-miss ko dyan green curry, patry mo kan Cowboy Ace. Did you understand that?
I understood the green curry part, and
Yeah, he wants you to try it.
oh, I already did.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It was incredible. Yeah, no, that was one that I put on my list of things that I needed to try, and I tried that last time. It was awesome.
See you, bro.
Yeah.
Aaron, kita-kits G Cafe. Okay, from AD Leagues Tigo. Ako garad assist, di bali ada dito yung live na pagbuyaan me. Alright, so yeah, thank you. Invite your friends to watch us. Speak, talk. Here. Thank you.
Of speakings.
Leon Guerrero, can you ask if there's any similarity from his place in the U.S. here in the Cordillera?
So I'd say the similarity would be the pine trees. So as far as looks wise, there is no difference. It's the same. It's really the same place in so many ways as far as the geography.
Okay.
The weather, a little bit different. We've got super cold winters with really deep snow and super hot summers that'll just bake you to death. So there is some difference there. But as far as geography, literally almost identical. And then the people are awesome here. There's good farming folks and mining folks in America that I still connect with. That I'd say that people that are doing the real jobs, real hard jobs, the dirty jobs.
Yeah.
They still have the traditions and things like that. So if you go into a part of the country in America that goes back to the foundations of the real jobs, yeah, you'll find people that are much more similar to here than folks in the city. You'll find a diamond in the rough every once in a while, but even the folks in the city here act more like country folk in the United States, and that's probably the biggest compliment that I can give, because there ain't much to say about city folks in the United States, so I just won't, because I want to stay positive. So country is good, and obviously it affects even the people in the city here, which is good.
All right. Anyway, thank you, Leon Guerrero. Nagtinagan mo, Leon Guerrero. Leon Guerrero was a movie back then, I think in the 1980s here in the Philippines, who is actually a cowboy.
Nice.
They, it's like the Philippine version of the West.
Nice.
With the gun.
Oh yeah. No, there were a lot.
Yeah.
Even there were a lot of American movies that were made here that were even westerns.
Right.
So, it totally makes sense to me. It was through the 60s on up, so 1960s.
Anyway, we'll be back after some reminders. Please stay tuned in. See you later.
Capstone Auto Care Center. Offer the car wash and auto detailing, interior and exterior full detailing. Nya pa jud oraym apan mon pa car wash sa elf mo. Dito'y Capstone Auto Care Center. Eksakto asidog dito'y silan. Pili lahat ni datinget asidog lang sunrise.
Howdy everybody! Daytoy homes plant ket masarakan ijay Dengsi Tawang La Trinidad Benguet asideglang ijay Camp Dangwa igid daytoy ti kalsada. Nuapay nga mairekomendak nga usto daytoy homes plant is because aglaklako da kan agin install da kadagiti PVC panels. And of course nakasingsingput day owners. Nuhan nyo pay lang amo kakapsat dagitoy PVC kadagiti plastic nga mas usar kadagiti properties, especially day makikita tayo nga orange nga hose tadta adan ti PVC panels nga mausar kadagiti balbalay tayo. Suportaan tayo daytoy homes plant dito'y Dengsi Tawang La Trinidad Benguet. Kita kits kakabsat dito'y homes plant.
Tanam kit diditan. Usaram. Amom daytoy. Papiksaan natin resistensya ti mula tapno nga alakha nga makaptan ti sakit. Kaniad adayo na dagiti insekto. Kasla kanyam, orayin bati da ka, orayik sangit-sangit ka, hangka nga agsakit. Yang iti orayom, pasaramon.
Encam Agri-Marketing, Omega Green, ultimate friend of farmers, the plant nutrition.
singers like Doña Pidang Sayote, George, um, Andrew Paulino Jr., Raul Biray, those legends. So natin invited dito you get people who can share something that is valuable, yeah, and fun also, yeah, just like Ace here. And I would just want to give a shout out to our sponsors, PAC, of course, Padron Cafe, Homesplend, Bigao, and others. And we're back, Ace. So far, with your experiences, well, at least like months
Yep.
here in the Cordillera, can you name the places where you've been?
I've been at Baguio, Trinidad, Otok, Bugias, and
Atok.
everywhere in between.
Pugyas.
So I don't, of course, know all the names of it. That's one thing that I struggle with so badly is
Yeah.
pronouncing. And eventually I'll learn Ilocano, but I'm gonna need to find the most patient teacher on the planet to be able to do that. Because yeah, not a fast learner that way. I learned quick everywhere else, but boy, learning language not easy.
Guys, we need an Ilocano teacher.
Patience of an
Patient.
angel, because if not, then you'll end up taking me out. So,
So in Atok and Bugyas, so that's I think the farthest for now.
yeah, and I'll be going. I might be doing some other travels here pretty soon, but
Mhm.
just see where the road takes me that way. It's one to where I guess you could call it slow travel. I don't do fast. I'm not jumping in. I'm not taking photos, videos, and jumping out.
Center, I go over the car wash and auto detailing, interior and exterior full detailing. Nya pa ito oraym, apan mo pa car wash sa elf mo. Dito'y Capstone Auto Care Center. Eksakto, asidog dito'y silan. Pili, lahat ni dating get asidog lang is sunrise.
Howdy everybody! Daytoy Homesplend ket masarakan ijay Dengsi Tawang La Trinidad Benguet asideglang ijay Camp Dangwa igid daytoy ti kalsada. Nuapay nga mairekomendak nga usto daytoy Homesplend is because aglaklak stolda kadagiti PVC panels. And of course, nakasingsingput day owners. Nuhan nyo pa lang amo kakapsat dagiti PVC kadagiti plastic nga mas usar kadagiti properties. Especially day makikita tayo nga orange nga hose. Tadta adan ti PVC panels nga mausar kadagiti balbalay tayo. Suportaan tayo daytoy Homesplend dito'y Dengsi Tawang La Trinidad Benguet. Kita kits kakabsat dito'y Homesplend.
Tanam kit diditan. Saram. Amom daytoy. Papiksaan natin resistensya ti mula tapno nga alakha nga makaptan ti sakit. Kaniad adayo na dagiti insekto. Kasla kanyam, orayin bati da ka, orayag sangit ka, hangka nga agsakit. Yang iti orayom, usaramon.
Encom Agri-Marketing, Omega Green, ultimate friend of farmers, the plant nutrition.
Howdy, welcome back to Adivay with FDG. I'm so sorry for what happened a while ago. There's a technical difficulty. And welcoming you back to our Adivay with Ace. All right. So, during your travel, so your short travel in Bugyas, Musta Ibugyas and Iatoks? What describe your experiences there? If you know.
Yeah, good experiences overall. Was able to meet quite a few farmers that come out of there, and that was a good experience. Last year, actually ended up even meeting the mayor and got adopted for the day, and went to their family reunion, sang a song, and it was a great time. But it seems to happen anywhere I go. It's different kind of things random happen, and go to different events or tradition. It's like, oh, we're having a wedding. We're gonna go to a wedding. All right, let's go. So anybody that's doing the same thing as me, I'll just be open to going with the flow and seeing the stuff that not everybody sees, because they've got a schedule. And I try to not have a hard schedule, and that makes it to where I'm never pushing my conversations to go somewhere else usually, or anything like that. That's it's positive for me.
Well, there's a difference between the cultures of the lowland and here in the Cordillera about occasions like that. Like in the lowlands, only family members are invited to come. But here in the Cordillera, everybody's invited. Anyone's invited, even the guy that sells ice cream is invited. And I wonder what's the version at the place where you're coming from in Idaho.
That's tough, because I'd say it's more like the lowlands. You really have to most weddings you have to have an invitation, or you have to be, let's say, be a part of that. Let's say that's that person's church, and maybe the whole church would be invited, but the whole neighborhood wouldn't be, unless they got an invitation. So unless you got a paper invitation, you're probably not invited to go to the wedding. Whereas here, yeah, exactly like you said, come on over and have some what and and let's get as they'd say in my area, get some people hitched.
Yeah. Speaking of what, how do you describe what?
It is natural, basic, foundational, salt of the earth.
Yeah.
Using salt.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those to where I have an appreciation for it, because it's not extravagant, extreme stuff. It's going back to the foundations of, hey, this is food, this is community. You give it certain portions to people depending on their age and that kind of stuff, and I love that. It's always great to see. So that's another one of the traditions that is very tying in for the community, and I love it every time I see it. I know that it's going to be a good time if there's what there. That's just.
They say when there's smoke, there's
what. Yes.
How did you know that?
I don't know. I either got it from you, or you didn't get it from me. You had to have told me, because I had said that the other day to some of my friends. I'm like, were you there? I'm like, no, you weren't there. So but it is. I didn't see I got lost. I was going to a celebration of life, and I stopped 10 feet short, and if I would have saw the smoke, I would have known.
The lowlands.
So different.
That's like the same with the West traditions on especially occasions that only people who got invitations will go, something like that.
It's very European.
It's
very European.
Yeah, and here in the Cordillera, it's not like that. Even if you don't have any invitation, you can go. You're welcome, because that's the standing tradition that didn't fade away, and I hope that it will still stay forever.
And really, it's I've told a few people it's going to be 100% up to the children. Parents teach your children. The tradition is important. Have them be involved in it, and instill not just that that they know the traditions, but also that they carry on the traditions. Because the last thing, I promise you, the last thing that you guys want to do is follow in the footsteps of the last 20 years in the United States and get us disconnected, because it's what makes this place home to me. Just because it's the people, the place, it's land. It's the people that make it truly amazing. So.
Yeah, of course, people from here would, think as to why you are here. Why would you stay here? The common thing that people would think why you're here is, of course, work, maybe finding a partner. Yeah, those were the common things.
Sure.
I want you to tell us the clear, short explanation as to why you love staying here, and why did you go away from, once you called home?
Yeah.
Or you're still home.
Still right. Yeah, going from what used to be home to now what is, like I said.
Yeah, you describe it as home.
Yeah.
Why did you say that?
Yeah. So it's complicated and simple at the same time. It's I grew up at a time in the 1990s when America had an identity of strength, unity, community, and pride in the values that we have as a country. And in the last 20 years, that's gone away. And I'd probably say since 2008, I lost the feeling of where I was in America and started searching for home, because culture changed so much. People stopped talking to their neighbors. They lived next to each other for 5+ years, and they had only actually had a conversation, maybe 5-10 minutes maximum. In that entire time, that was the longest conversation. And that's not the way it used to be. It used to be when somebody moved into a neighborhood, a whole neighborhood came to, to greet them and to invite them to activities and such. Not the case anymore. And so when I saw your videos, it reminded me of home in multiple ways, not just, it's a ton, both, the home part of it and the traditions part of it, because of the powwows, like I said. Now it's the people. I connect to so many people so fast here. I make so many friends, and some friends become essentially my family, just quick, like it used to be back when I was growing up. And it's something that I can't get enough of. It's something to where I didn't come here looking for a wife. I know that there's plenty of guys that do. Eventually, I'm single now, but eventually I'll, my plan is the next 2-3 years to move here, essentially full time. After I fix up my place in the United States, rent that out, because of how much this feels like home, and how much going back to the United States felt like leaving home last time. And so being able to continue that, and really just it's not for mission objectives, it's coming to live. And that's, I got here 3 months ago, and it felt like I was able to live again. And in America, I didn't feel like I was able to live for that time. I wanted to get back here as soon as I possibly could. So it's, as far as motivations are concerned, yeah, I've been looking for home. I didn't realize that this would be home though. It was more just interesting and at first, and to where I saw such a connection with the country music part of it. And I was like, I've got to go see that. But then I fell in love with the people, and then that was all over. It was that I had no valid reason anymore to call America home like I once did, because I hadn't called it home in years. I'm gonna go back to my house, is what it was. Whereas here, even if I'm not at quote unquote my home, Benguet is my home. So just in general, anywhere I go here, from the smallest two houses along a highway to the bigger towns and what I'd consider cities. Always feels like home.
Oh, that's so incredible to hear. I can't, when we talk about Filipino family and stuff, I can just imagine how, and then you find this place as, you call home. Well, there are a lot of, if we see foreigners, a lot of foreigners coming here,
Yeah.
they don't actually have much as what you have.
No.
I mean, about people, about meeting people, and just being here. And what do you do that that separates you from others? How do you? What's inside you that makes you have a lot of friends? That we call.
Oh, it's with that. It's pretty simple. I'm not playing a role. I'm just me. There's going to be some people that are going to love me. There's going to be some people that don't, and that's okay. I'm not going to play any kind of vlogger. I'm
Yeah.
looking like a cartoon character or anything, because I'm just me. And maybe that's the reason why that I feel more accepted than other foreigners that come here, is because the ones that I've seen. I'll be honest with you. I don't hang out with foreigners at all. They're my brothers. They're my friends. They're sisters. All of the above. And it's something to where I just don't have anything in common with foreigners. They don't show the respect that I believe that the Highlanders deserve. And because of that, I can't really find a very easy connection with them. Does that mean that all of them are bad? Absolutely not. No, there's some that come here that I hear are just absolutely incredible people, and I hope to meet them. But just because I look the way that I do, doesn't mean that I have any kind of connection or relation with them. They happen to come from the same country as me. Neat. They happen to have the same skin color as me. Neat. Doesn't matter other than that. Other than that, with the things that I have in common with the Highlanders, 1,000 times more than most of the Americans that I've met here, Germans, Australians, or anything of the sort, because we just care about the same things. It's about people. It's about family. It's about community, coming together, taking care of each other. Most of the time, foreigners are kind of in it for them. Hey, I've got a lot of money, so you're gonna do what I want. It's like, go, like leave your money here for my friends, and then go back to your country. That's fine.
Considering that people here are shy and reserved, how do you get them to talk?
And I heard that over and over again. I don't believe it, because it doesn't exist. So they are shy and reserved if you don't interact with them. If you don't interact with them, well, then they're going to do their own thing. They're not going to bother you. But it's not like other places around that are further south that are going to throw you a parade, just because you showed up, kind of thing. Here, if you smile at somebody, 99% of the time they're going to smile back. If you go up and talk to somebody, they're going to want to talk back, even if they don't have a big English vocabulary. They're still going to try.
Yeah.
And they're going to be very apologetic for little English, but let's be real. Get a little bit of 2x2, the English comes. So that's just the reality of it. There's been very few people that I've met that if we sit down, we Adivay, we have a little bit of 2x2 that we're not able to just open up. And then, boy, some of them are incredibly good at English. It's like, you're not bad at it. You're incredible at English. What are you talking about? And even the people that don't, have a whole lot of English, skill that they've put together, or they're too nervous, is really what it comes down to. It's not the skill, it's anxiety. Even with that, I don't have a problem with it, because if they start a sentence, most of the time I know what they're talking about and able to finish it. My brain works really quick. And so people are just like, how do you know what I'm what I'm saying with it? Well, because it's a natural progression, you
Mhm.
know, and so and that's another reason maybe people are able to better connect with me that wouldn't connect with other foreigners, because other foreigners maybe need entire sentences,
Mhm.
sentence after sentence after sentence, and I just need little bits and pieces. Heck, even a lot of the your native language or languages here. I hear people talking, and a lot of the time, just from their body language and English words thrown in here and there, I'm able to get a general understanding of what they're talking about. So,
You mentioned 2x2. How's it?
it's very fine, smooth. It's like a very fine, smooth,
Mhm.
and smooth
And smooth until the end.
until the end. 2x2 is actually pretty dang good, to be honest with you. It's I don't drink tequila, don't drink whiskey, don't drink vodka very often. Vodka was the only one I drank before, and that stuff that burns like it's going
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
style. 2x2, overall, it's pretty mild. Not the results of the alcohol, but the taste.
taste.
The taste.
All right.
Yeah. So I'd say it's my favorite. I guess you could say hard liquor.
Yeah.
And then the rice wine's my favorite, wine, hands down. Yeah, I absolutely love that. That's actually my favorite liquor, or alcohol in general, is Tepoy, right?
Tapoy.
Tepoy, yeah.
Tapoy.
Oh, yeah, you guys rock that out, the best. Yeah, 2x2, it's one to where, boy, you get together with a group of friends, you have some 2x2, and it's going to be, most times it's going to be a good time. So, yeah, that's another it's another way that whether somebody's been here for a while or not,
Yeah.
and have really invested in the culture, is if they know what 2x2 is. If they
Yep.
if they say, the San Miguel gin, they're probably pretty new, or haven't involved themselves in the culture. I remember one foreigner I met. He had been here in Baguio for 8 years. Had a wife that he picked up from Mindanao, and 8 years. Didn't know what 2x2 was. It's like
Here in Baguio.
Yep. But it just shows you most foreigners hang out with other foreigners. They go to foreigner
Okay.
coffee shops. They go to foreigner, supermarkets. They don't go to the regular market. They don't go to the La Trinidad market. They stick with who they're comfortable with. And who I'm comfortable with. Well, I'm comfortable with everybody else. So.
Yeah, and that's amazing how one of not many people have that kind of ways, and I really love that view of you. That's
For
why
sure.
that's what took you here actually,
Yeah.
and that's what makes you stay longer probably. So what's the future for you here? What do you plan? You plan to come, or stay here for long, or
Oh yeah. So my plan is, and this is all based on the graciousness of the Filipino government. Thank you for letting me be here. I very much appreciate that, and for letting me come back, over and over again. So I appreciate that as well. I'm very thankful. But it's one to where I will come back every year. So my plan is, I'll be leaving in March. I'm going to come back again in November, for probably anywhere between 2 and 4 months again. But as soon as I get that house fixed up and rented out in the United States and USA, then I will rent it out, and then I will come here, full time, as much as the government will allow me to be. Because the thing that I always do, I follow the law, and I want to make sure that I respect, the things that are in place, because it is a graciousness of the Filipino people that I'm able to be here for as long a period as I have been. And, at least at this time with tourist visa, you can be up here, here for up to, 3 years. So, but there are there are foreigners that take advantage of that, and the last thing I want to do is take advantage of it. I always want to be, within compliance. So that's the plan. I can't say that I'd be here, full time, but it'd be as full time as what I'd call, to where it'd be 11 months out of the year. Then I go back to America, fix anything on the house that would need to be fixed, do maintenance, and then come back home again. So,
All right.
yeah.
So it's like you're a part.
And
part of this place.
and also and then I guess the other part is, I'm looking for a community to live in when I do come here, essentially full time. Small community, and then from there, be part of that community, be involved in that community, be an active participant, not just taking, but giving as much or more than I take. And then, of course, love is love, and I'm a man that wants to have not just me in a house and family, so that'll be in the future too. But no rush.
No rush. Everybody, Ace is single.
Oh. Am I being sold? Is that selling me as a?
Yeah, he's single.
Uh,
Anyway, shout out to Claire Mulano. Shout out to Ilya
Nope.
Benito. Yan.
Oh,
Shout
all right.
out.
Italiano.
Yeah, from Benito Italiano Spanish. Anyway, we're down to the last part of Adivay with FDG. We're gonna throw some random questions to Ace, see if he can answer it. Honestly. Anyway, this is on the spot, so let's go.
Of course, he didn't prep me for this, and now I'm like, oh no.
It's on the spot.
It's a good
What
thing.
comes to mind? Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Anyway, one thing I saw here in the comments, but I lost it. But I'm gonna ask you anyway.
Sure.
Have you seen or tried Muma?
Okay, seen, yes.
Yeah.
Have I tried it yet? No. I'm going to be trying it with some of my friends.
Yeah.
Not while we're doing sets at a bar, and just so that if for some reason, because it'd be my first time with it, I'd get sick, that I don't make myself look too stupid. It's stupid in front of them, and they'll probably record it and post it everywhere. So I'll probably just end up, having it on the internet anyway. But hey, it is something that I will be trying, but it's going to be with my close friends, that they can make sure that I'm not doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So
Record it too.
they will, of course they will.
They're gonna follow Cordillera Journey with Ace.
Yeah, but yeah, I might probably some of my buddies from some of the bands, maybe with Aladdin. It's because those guys, they know better than me, and so I'm gonna listen to the experts, and I'm gonna follow their instructions exactly, and I'm gonna give it a shot, because it's the same thing. It is a part of the traditional culture, so I do want to participate as much as I can. Try things as much as I can too.
Yeah, I just want to tell you good luck.
Good luck. I'll need it. I will need it.
All right.
I will need it.
Next question. Your
Yes.
favorite food?
Pancit vihon. That is,
Really?
and it's not good for me, because I'm supposed to be low carb, but that stuff's like kryptonite. I just can't resist. I'm like, come here.
Pancit bihon, you know
Yeah.
what to give Ace when you meet him.
Yeah, it just, oh man, and especially if it's because I've had some with like fish balls.
Oh, yeah.
No, beef.
Beef. Chicken.
Sometimes, but the beef is where's the name of can't think of the carabao. Yeah, so that in particular. The chicken's okay. Yeah, I don't really eat seafood stuff, so but the beef, oh, it's incredible. So that's my my very much favorite.
Pancit. All right. Anyway, how about American food? Or
Well, what's my favorite American food?
Yeah, in America.
It's hard to do because most of my favorite foods are not from America.
Oh, right. What is it?
It's called a euro. It's from which is not the currency. It's not dollars. You're like, you eat
like
money
eating
from
money?
Europe? No, it's Greek. So they actually have a form of it here called the shawarma,
Oh.
But so it's in a pita, so that's the same. It's with tzatziki sauce, which is a yogurt sauce with cucumber in it. But the meat, that is the important part, and it's 85% beef, 15% lamb. Has some incredible spices through it, and it comes on a big cone, like a meat cone, and you put it on the thing just like shawarma and carve it off. So that's got to come. It's from the same part of the world, but tastes very different. It's
Wow.
very good. If you get to America, try it there. It's probably different than it is in Greece because that's the
Yeah.
way it always is. You know, it's like Chinese food in America. It doesn't taste like Chinese food in China, but yeah, give it a shot. Other than that, good steak is always good. Some porterhouse. Or,
I'm hungry.
yeah, I'm a beef man. I'm a fan of beef.
Anyway, as a kid, did they say a kid?
As a small child,
Kid. All right. Anyway, as a kid, what food did you grow up with? Is it the same with what we've been seeing on American movies like cereal and milk?
yes. So most kids grow up on cereal.
Okay.
It's terrible. I hope America stops it immediately. It's not good for you. It's just carbs and carbs and carbs, and they're just and sugar. It's just tons of sugar.
Yeah.
So yeah, I grew up on that a little bit, but I'd have to say that the biggest thing that I ate literally almost every day for years and years because love my mom to death, but she would burn water. She was such a bad cook, and so my dad would make spaghetti, and so had spaghetti all the time. Not the same as here. The amount of sugar that you guys add to your sauce is
Kilo.
extreme sometimes, just a little bit, just and even the Italian style, that's still sweeter than any sauce that I know of in America. But if you go to the SM Market, Hunt's spaghetti sauce in the can, that is literally what I grew up on.
All right.
Does it mean it's the best? Absolutely not. Prego and Ragu was way better of brand sauces, but hey, it was. We were a basic, simple family, not a rich, high and mighty, family. So canned sauce it was. kept me humble, I guess you'd say.
Next question. Favorite country music? Country song, I mean. Stinking.
Man, it's so hard.
Like the top of the list.
See, that's tough because I've got so many. I mean, I can tell you, Alan Jackson is probably my favorite country singer. "Living on Love's a good one.
Living on Love.
Yeah. A lot of songs by Brooks and Dunn, John Michael Montgomery. That is one of the toughest things I've been asked. Wow, that's sad. I got to actually think about that.
You actually look like John Michael Montgomery at a glance. Yeah.
And forgot what the other guy's name is. There's another country music singer I look pretty close to.
Beyonce. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Look exactly like her. Randy Houser.
Randy Houser.
Randy Houser.
You look
I
exactly
look
like
like
him.
Randy. That I'd probably say, I'm closest in looks to Randy Houser or a very fat Wolverine.
Fat Wolverine.
Yeah, fat Wolverine. What are the two? I'll go for the fat Wolverine, to be honest. Too. I'll happily take it.
Fat Wolverine.
Fat Wolverine.
Nice description.
Or chubby Wolverine, because they don't say as much fat here. It's more, he's chubby or she's chubby. I'm just extra chubby.
Anyway, what you said, what the artist, the country singers that you have said are, a lot our favorites here in Cordillera. Of course, Alan Jackson, John Michael Montgomery. A lot of Igorots fell in love because of "I Love the Way You Love Me."
Yeah, nice swear.
Yeah, I swear. Of course, George Strait's there. Yeah, and the list goes on.
Different songs though, so that is a difference. People assume automatically it's like, oh, he's gonna know this song or this song or this
Yeah.
song. There are so many songs. It's the same artist, but I've never heard the song before.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of songs that it's the same artist in America, but they don't know the songs.
Yeah.
So I'm learning new songs from artists that I've known for years and thought, oh, I know their top songs. You guys have made a whole nother list of top songs
Yeah.
essentially that I get to discover for the very first time. And that's awesome. I love it.
Nice.
So, and you guys get to discover some from me as well.
Yeah.
You're like, I've never heard that. But some of the artists, they do know some of those songs, and it's been surprising. I'll throw, oh, you won't know this one, and they start playing it, and I'm like, nobody knows that one. So it's great. It's always a good time with that too.
Last two questions.
All right.
The hardest one.
Oof.
I'm just kidding. Favorite movie?
Probably say Back to the Future.
Oh,
Back to the Future. Yeah, well, the trilogy. We'll say it's one movie because I like Back to the Future 2 as a kid. I liked 1 more as an adult, and then 3 I liked in both. So, yeah, that and then True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger was cool. But hey, that guy was. I mean, he just jumping off of buildings on a horse, like into a pool. I mean, it's pretty manly. So science, manliness, very two very.
Yeah.
And then that one scene from The Predator where Arnold, you son of a, and that's very manly.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. You must go. Run. You can do it. Do it now. Sorry. Natural. This is
Naturally coming out.
It's Arnold inside. It's going to pump you up.
Man, you got a talent on impersonation.
Very bad. It's cartoony, Arnold. That's why I don't say I do impersonations, and I don't say I do accents. I just do weird things, and then people have low expectations.
All right.
Yeah. But I love accents and stuff. It's fun. You
All
gotta
right.
laugh and laugh.
The last part, the last question. Yeah, that's crazy question. Describe FDG. I haven't asked that to anyone else. I just felt like asking you right now.
Like in one word?
One book.
Trouble.
Trouble.
It's just trouble.
Yeah.
You're complicated.
Complicated.
Yeah, and it's not in a bad way. It's things that are uncomplicated are not deep. They're surface level. You look at it and you know exactly what this is right off the bat. You look at Freddie and you don't see what is inside. You see what you think you see. You get a snapshot of you. And that's what the world sees. And then, other people see a bigger snapshot. But you ever seen a Russian nesting doll? You know what that is? So it's a doll, it's a wooden doll inside of a wooden doll, inside of a wooden doll, inside of a wooden doll.
Okay.
And so it's like multiple, it's not multiple people in one, but it's kind of like layers.
Okay.
And you've got a lot of layers that people, I don't think that most people know that you're so brilliant in a lot of ways. And so as people get to know you, I would say to not make assumptions that you're just this and put you in a box. I'd recommend they ask more questions and dive deeper because you are a much deeper person than what people do assume.
Wow.
So.
Wow. I'm gonna think about it.
That's all he has to say. It's like, wow, all right.
I'm gonna reflect on it, but it sounds...
Well, it's not for you to reflect on. It's for them.
It's for you
It's
guys.
for you. No.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wow.
For the good or for the bad, because But that's my. Hey, you said try to be honest. It's my honest answer. So
I like it. I think I'm getting.
you're like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's a very good thing. So,
Yeah. I think yes, I can describe myself like that too. And then someone confirmed it, and okay,
Yep.
there we go. Anyway, okay, Jens, thank you so much for being with us until the end of this live today, Friday, February 7th, 2025, with our first episode and our first guest, Cordillera Journey with Ace. I keep calling it Cordillera Journey with
it's
Ace.
fine.
Ace, anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here with me right now.
Thank you. I very much appreciate
Wow.
that.
So thank you. I couldn't. Thank you so much. We'll have a lot of things to talk
Oh yeah.
about in the future.
Oh yeah. It's going to be a long future. I was going to say, I'm not going anywhere, but I'm not going anywhere else for long. So that's what I should say.
Even if you're not here physically,
Yeah.
you're here. You're like
Exactly.
just walking on the street.
Yeah, randomly.
Anyway, thank you so much, Karelians. Thank you for watching. This is Adivay with FDG. Next Friday, we'll have another guest. The same na oras, 6 to 7 p.m. And every Friday. And thank you so much for our sponsors. Guys, if there are other establishments, there are people who would like to do or support us or make some sponsorships on Adivay with FDG, you're all welcome. Send us a message. One message away. Salamat. And we will see you again next week. Cheers.
Thanks, y'all.
Cheers.
Happy trails. Yeah. All right. Yeah, the video didn't say, yep.